All right. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. Can you all hear me? Yes, response from them. Okay. So, this evening we are going to talk about modular programming. So, I believe we have been learning about this course titled Introduction to Python Programming. So, we are continuing with that, and today's module is about modular programming. So, how to write code, where we talk about modular coding, objects, oriented programming, foundation, and some file processing. That's what we are going to talk about. Okay, so this is the objective of this particular module. So mastering the functions and libraries, classes, inheritance, encapsulation, and then how to manage external data persistent storage. Okay, the first part. So when we talk about modular programming, so to break some complex code into simple components so that you better understand them. Okay, when we talk about functions, so we make use of function in programming. So to make a block reusable, and this is of course designed to perform a specific isolated task. I don't know if I can hear you people, so that there are some questions, I don't want to be the one to be talking throughout. Can I hear at least to okay, so I need feedback, so you can send a chat so that I can be sure that we are together. Please send some messages so that I can be sure that we are together. So I want to be sure that I'm communicating with you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the core advantage of declaring function in Python programming is that instead of you coming to rewrite some logic, so you encapsulate it once and then you execute it multiple times. So that's the advantage of having a function. And we are to say, okay, why use functions? Some advantages. It helps in terms of encapsulation. That is, you wrap the code into name blocks and making the programs modular and easier to maintain. And another advantage of it is the reusability. So you define it once and then you call it many times when needed. So it will help you to reduce duplication and avoid potential errors. And the abstraction, that's another advantage of declaring a function. So it helps to hide complexity, and this makes that users only need to know what is done and not how. So the how will not be revealed to everybody. Yeah. Okay, so the function transforms like a kind of, say, let's say, a spaghetti code into a structure and logical modules. Okay, yeah. We can't hear. Oh, hello, can you hear me now? Let me see the chat. I can read here that you can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. Okay, somebody is asking which class is this one. Okay, this is CSC 201. CSC 201. And the topic we are treating is modular programming. Modular programming. So that's it. That's the answer to that. Okay, good. Thank you that I can see that we are together. That's good. Okay. Okay. Another advantage of having a function in your code is this also the readability. So meaningful names that act as self-documentation for your project structure. And the maintainability also, the logic changes are centralized. So update one function to affect all the one that you call. And another one of the advantages of declaring a function is also the isolation. That is, the local variables prevent naming conflicts with a global environment. So those are the advantages of declaring a function while coding in Python. So some pro tips that you can say, okay, small single purpose functions are easier to test and debug than monolithic blocks of code. So you can see that it is good for you to learn how to declare functions. Okay, how to define a function. You know, we've been saying that yes, you have to declare a function, the advantages, but as in practical aspects, how are you going to declare it? How to declare it so you can see. So the functions is declared by the keyword def, and the keyword def is followed by the name. So, and then the parameters. So that's what we have here. So that's what we have here. You can see the def is the code, the keyword to tell that we are declaring a function, and calculate area is the name of the function, while radius is the parameter that is there. So this is an example of function here. Calculate circle area. So you can see it. The formula is there, and it shows that yes, we have a function that is called. And remember, this is Python, so it's very sensitive to how you indent the code. Very sensitive. So you can see the column, and then you can see the space. This return and others are not placed at the same level with the def. So if it's not well structured, Python will flag an error to you. So, and I want to believe that part two, many of you have been coding. So you know what I'm saying. Yeah. All right. So another thing that probably you can take note is this, note the doc string. So a descriptive string explaining the functions, the function purpose. So it is good for you so that to make it understandable, even if you are the one that wrote the code. So somebody else, when they pick it, so it should be able to understand what you mean. That's what is put in this quote that are there. You can see it. So reading it, I can see calculate circle area. So I will understand that this is what you are doing. Make it simple and easy for somebody that is coming to take note of it, to also understand that this is what you done. All right. Uh, Parameters. Remember we mentioned that that's name. I mean the name of the function, the def as the keyword, the name of the function, and then the parameter. So you can see the parameter. So the position now. So it's matched by order. So the sequence is the call. The sequence in the call must match the definition. So you can see this as an example there. Greet Isaac hello. So order does not matter. Yes, does not matter, but it increase readability. Yes. So you can see these are the parameters there, and then greetings. I can assign greet to greetings hi, and to name Eunice. Eunice. And then coming to this one, yes, there is this default that fallback values used when an argument is omitted during the call. So def, like this one now, the def greet name and message hello. So the name has been assigned Eunice. So what will now happen will be this Eunice, comma, because that name, when it will be called, is Eunice that will come up because we've already assigned Eunice to name. So that is what I can say from that aspect to you, I believe. Okay, we are together. Okay, all right. So to undo variable length inputs. Okay, the arguments, it accepts an arbitrary number of positional arguments as tuple. Okay, you can see this one now, def sum all, and then the argument. So, and the keyword argument also accepts an arbitrary number of keyword arguments as a dictionary. So we can see, I think we've learned from our previous class some how to define a tuple, dictionaries, and others. We've learned that, so they are not new. And I don't know if I may ask, you can type it in your code. What ID have you been using? Oh, somebody is saying the slide is not showing. Are you sure? Is the slide not showing, or is just only from that your end? Okay, you can now see. Good. 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 Okay, what ID have you been using? Okay, I can see. Have you ever heard about VS Code? VS Code. Okay. 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 It's all right. You can all see now. Okay. Okay. PyCharm. Yes. PyCharm. Yes. One of the good ID. Okay. It's all right. Okay. The return statement in the function that is declared. So that one is to use exit the function and passes back a result to the caller. So the single, so return one value. When it is multiple, so it's return tuple that can be compact, and early exit, so stop the execution immediately if a condition is met. So the default, if no return is specified. So those are some return statements that can be used. Okay, the scope and namespace. So the local variables and the global variables. So the local variable are declared and defined inside a function, and it's only accessible within that function's life cycle. So it's only accessible within that function because it is declared locally inside the function. But when it is a global variable, so it means that any outside that any function can use it because it's open to all. And then to modify a global variable inside the function, you must use the global keyword. Yeah. Stay together. Okay. Stay together. Okay. So the anonymous functions that we call lambda. So these small and unnamed functions defined with the lambda keyword for short-term operations. So this is the formula for that. So you can see it there on the screen. So we have lambda arguments. So there's like the kind an example of square. So can see how it might. So it's commonly used with map and filter or sorted. So working now with modules. So what is a module? A module is a file containing Python definition and statements. So example, the maths.py. So we import them, like the maths is a module that you can import while we are to do some mathematical calculation, or you can use the NumPy, and then you can assign it as NP. From OS import this. So there are different way of calling out a module. So those are the different way. So Python organize larger application by grouping modules into packages. So executing as scripts. So the special variables name determines how a file is being used. So if running directly, so this is the name we use, and then assign main to it. If imported, so the name will be assigned will be equal to module name. So, and you can see an example here. If name equal to main, so this code only return when executed directly, like print welcome to the script. So the object-oriented programming part, that is thinking in terms of objects and blueprints. So that's where we are going to talk about the classes and objects. Classes and objects. So in programming, what we call class, what is an object. So remember, everything in Python is an object, and a class is regarded as a blueprint, while the object can be seen as an instance. So the class defines the structure and methods, while the object holds unique data, that is attributes. So inheritance. So it allows a child class to acquire properties and methods from a parent class. That is, we have the parent class, and then the child can inherit every property that belongs to the parent class. So it promotes code reuse and also establish hierarchy, that is from from parent to child and for people under that child. So it also extends functionality without rewriting it. So it's good. Let me continue. So the next one, so to see some example of that. So methods, okay, overriding, okay. A subclass can provide its own implementation of a method that is already defined in its parent class. So we have this example there, this short code to further explain what I just mentioned. So we have this class named bed, and it is defined with the keyword that is there, def, remember? So fly, and then the parameter is there, and what is going to return is flying. Then another class is also mentioned, and then what it will return, but the object will always most specific version of the method. Let me check if we are together. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, another part of object-oriented programming is polymorphism. So that it allows one interface to perform different behaviors depending on the object type. So it supports dynamic method resolution and also promotes flexibility. So that's the importance of polymorphism in OOP. So the data abstraction part, so it's used to hide internal implementation details and expose only necessary functions. That is, it will just show you what happened without telling you how it happened, without giving you the full details. So abstract-based classes. So Python's ABC module allows you to define methods that must be implemented by child classes, creating a formal contract. So it focuses on what an object does rather than how. So that's the importance of data abstraction. So it will just show you what the object did without giving you the full detail on how it happened. Okay. Okay. Encapsulation. So bundles attributes and method into a single unit, the class, and restricts direct access. So you can see from that, data can be hidden. So to protect object internal state from outsider interference and accidental modification. So it's not something making available for all. Okay, so access modifiers. So these are different access modifiers that we can have. It can be public with this notation, and then the visibility that is inside and outside the class can be seen. So protected. So it meant that class and subclasses. And then when it is private, only within the defining class that can get access to that. So Python uses name mangling to protect private attributes. Okay. So some getters, setters, and properties. Getters, setters, properties. Okay. Okay, to safely modify private variables. So you can use some control methods that we have there. So we have this code. I think at the end, okay, somebody was asking for some codes. Don't worry. Once I'm done with this short slide, so we go into some how to declare practical aspect of it. Says that's why I asked you if you have you have any idea, so that we can see how to declare a function, and then you can be able to do something. So I will give you an assignment after that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I've learned that you have been having practical. You have been doing tutorial. So this is a time for you to all these short notions that I'm giving you. So it's there that we teach you how to do that practically. So the functions, how to declare it, the method, how to do that. So at your practical, they will teach you. So this part is the file processing. So the basis of file handling. So essential for managing storage, logs, and application configurations. So different type of files can be imported while coding in Python. So probably you have a data set. It can be in a text format. It can be in a CSV format or Excel format or JSON format. And we can also have some in JPEG and audio, MP4. So we have different formats, type of data that your data set can be, and when you may need it to import them in your work. Probably you want to do an analysis, like for some of you that are into data science or data analysis, we can do that with Python. So people that are used to this ID, Jupyter, for some of you that are used to Jupyter. So you can import an CSV format document, then you analyze it. So you find out whether you to do data cleaning, you transform the data. Maybe you need to do some things in the data before you can project a kind of having some visualization to build some charts using some library like matplotlib, Seaborn. So for people that are into data science or data analysis, so to showcase the finding from the data set that you are analyzing. And also from that, you should be able to conclude and then give your final conclusion on what you have been asked to do. Okay. Okay, so the meaning of the specialized data format, so CSV. So what does that mean? So comma separated values. So it's used for tabular data exchange, and also the JSON, so the lightweight object notation used for web APIs. Yeah. Okay, the Pinko, so Python specific binary serialization for objects. So those are the different data formats. Okay, there is a way you can, if you want to read the data that you're importing. So these are some modes that and the description and the effect of it, where you use R. So meaning read only, by default, read. So, and then it opens existing file. So error if missing. So if you use the W, there's mean write, so that truncate file or create new one. Okay. All right. Yes, I want you to take note of the attendance code before we continue. So take note of that. So Z, the first. Yeah. So the first attendance code. So Z, S, F, L, X. So Z, S, F, L, X. So I believe you've already take note of that. Okay. So all in capital. All in capital. Okay. Good. So like I was saying, that when you use A, so A means that you want to append it, so to add the content to the end of the file. And then when it is X, so exclusive, so it's fail if file already exists. Okay. All right, so reading content. Reading content. So to read the entire file as one string. So we put read as the keyword for that. So to retrieve a single line, and that one is best for sequential passing. So read line, and then read lines. That one loads all lines into a list of strings. Okay. So content managers. So the with statement is the modern way to handle file safely. So it's automatic file closure, handles exceptions gracefully, and cleaner readable code. So with this one now, with open this data, you can see it is in text format. You can see it as open this data, and the R that is there means what? The R that is there. So, and then as file. So the R that is there. Let me show you that again. That is by default to reach. By default. So what is that? That's what it is. So the content now, the file now for you to read the content, and then the file is automatically sorry. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the file reads. Okay. Okay. Another way of writing. So the other one was for reading. This one is for reading. This one for writing and appending. So to write, at least to accept a string. So, and also the write lines is for to accept a list of strings. So the difference for write and write line. So the other one, no new line added for the write, but the write lines accepts a list of strings. So the best practice, so always specify encoding. This encoding UTF-8 for cross-platform stability. Yes, take note of that. Take note of that. So robust error handling. So in programming, we have some errors that will come up. So how to handle them? So file operations can fail due to missing files or denied permissions. So to try, so the use of except is very important for you to handle errors. So this is the syntax for that. So how to declare the try, and then what you ask for, and then the accept. So file not found error. So what message will it show you? What message will it send when there is an error? So the accept will say, okay, to print missing configurations, or honest in case that is exception. So, and declare the exception as E. So to print out unexpected error. So that's how to declare the way of handling your error. Okay. Okay, some people are still asking for the course. This is CSC 201. All right. Okay, I think I'm moving towards the end already. Okay, so you can take this code again. The second code. The second code. The second code. So 5x 8 k 8. 5x 8 k 8. So I believe you've taken note of that. So I said 5x 8 k 8. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let me wait so that I can stop here so I can hear from you. The practical aspects will be done by your tutors, people that are taking you for tutorial, practically for practical, so that you can all this that I've just mentioned, so you can be able to try them in your different ID. Like I said, we have different ID for Python. You can choose to be using VS Code, PyCharm, yes. You can also use Jupyter. Yes, especially for people that probably want to use their own knowledge of Python to go into data science and data analysis. So PyCharm is, I mean, Jupyter is very good. Jupyter or Spider, but me, I love Jupyter. Or Colab, yes, it can also be Google Colab. Yes. So mastering logic opens the door to data science, automation, and web development. So let me have any question from you people. So any question? Any question? Okay. So you don't have any question. You're asking for all right. Take note of the third code. The third code. Okay. B for Q 8A. The final code, I repeat again. B for Q 8A. So any question? So if you don't have any question, maybe me I will ask. So for some of you that were from the beginning to the end, so what have you gained? So type it in the chat. Let me see. If at least that's yes, you joined today's class. So what have you gained? No question. Okay, what have you learned? What can you say about modular programming? So let me see your chat. Okay, which site? No. Okay. It's all right if you don't have any questions. So what I will just encourage you is so you to take this course as more practical. You get many. I know many of you are in computer and some are also in it. You don't even need to be in computer before you can be a programmer or show your interest into coding. So this short class that we have. So make sure that you make yourself available when it is time for practical, so that there you can see the practical aspect of this function that we said, that is you declare a function with the with def and then the name, the parameters and stuff. So there, make sure that you make yourself available for the tutorial, I mean practical, and then you'll be able to be guided more into practical, so that it won't be just just head knowledge alone. So you'll be able to practice it.